Every space has an emotional energy. Some rooms feel tense, others feels hyper competitive, some completely relaxing. Most people unconsciously match that frequency. So they walk into a place, they absorb the energy, and they let that place control how they feel and how they act. Now, a socially intelligent woman operates differently. She first recognizes that every environment has its energy, and you're either absorbing it or you're defining what it is. So, how do you master this level of influence to give you social leverage and a memorable presence? You need to understand these three core behavior. 1. Refusal of external emotional influence. This is a psychological phenomenon where a person unconsciously mirrors the expressions and the tones and the emotion of those around them. In most environments, people are caught in this exchange of anxiety, of urgency, or sometimes even mood swing. When a person who feels highly stressed enters a room, that energy spreads across the room, and majority of people lack emotional control. So what a smart woman does is that she uses emotional boundary as some sort of filter. So when she's in a room that is tense, she does not match that energy. So instead of reacting to that energy, she responds from the place of absolute control. When you maintain this level of self-consciousness, you're able to shift something in the room, and the behavior of the people who are in that room, they begin to subconsciously let you take the lead. Holding a calm, deliberate tone or steady posture, you break the cycle of shared anxiety and force the environment to stabilize. Mark Antony summoned Cleopatra of Egypt. Antony wanted to assert Roman dominance over Egypt and intimidate the young queen. So he expected Cleopatra to arrive anxious and eager to please the Roman power. Instead, what she did was that she chose her own energy. She arrived in a magnificent barge, dressed and surrounded herself with boys fanning her, while Antony waited in the town square as Cleopatra arrived. She forced Antony to dine on her terms. She refused to match the energy that he had created, that anxious energy that he wanted to force on her. It's important that as a woman who wants to control the energy in a room, you should approach high tension situations with a clear boundary. Treat other people's emotions as information, not as an instruction. When you intentionally slow down in a chaotic environment, you trigger your nervous system because the human brain naturally looks for stability in the moment of chaos. So people subconsciously just trust the leadership of a person who is grounded in a room. 2. Give attention, don't chase it. The instinct in most social settings is to compete for validation. People speak over one another, over-explain themselves, try to always demonstrate their intelligence, or try to show how charming they are or their status. You see, this behavior comes from that need to feel or to seek external approval. So what this signals to the room is that how you see yourself is dependent on their reaction. What smart women do is to shift the power dynamic by becoming the authority rather than the one performing for external validation. So this type of woman listens with intent, she asks targeted questions, she gives deliberate eye contact. As a woman who controls the room energy, you should know the importance of selective attention. Check out the video that I did on it. It will really help you. Attention is a currency that you should manage intentionally. By remaining observing, you force others to fill in that silence, and it often makes them reveal their motives and their insecurities. So before I explain how you can implement this, I want to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Jay. Welcome to She Upgraded. If this is your first time, welcome to this space. If it's not your first time, welcome back to this space. In here, we just like to learn, especially from women who have succeeded, because we are intentional. We are also people who like to make intentional decisions. So if this is something that you want for yourself while working on upgrading your life, you have found the right space. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share this video with people who share the same mindset as us, or people who you believe can benefit from things like this. So back to what we were saying. So how do you implement this? You have to shift your focus from what you're saying to what you're observing. There are two things you can do. First, I call it the 70-30 listening rule. It's not what I invented, it's something that I'd read about. So, in any social or professional gathering, aim to listen 70% of the time and speak 30% of the time. Of course, it's not like you can measure it, but you understand what I'm trying to say. When you speak less, your words carry weight. This is also because you have listened to other people, so your speech is guided, and you will naturally just talk about what people are generally interested in. Now, two, calibrated eye contact. When someone else is speaking, do not glance around the room looking for someone else to distract you or something else to distract you. Give your unwavering support. This makes the speaker feel seen, and it puts you in a place where you look like a good interactor. People will naturally turn towards you for agreement and to ensure that they shift their behavior to gain your respect when they are discussing or they are trying to put across their point. Number three is what most people do not know how to do, and you have to learn how to do it if you want to control the room energy. It is quite important. Control the pace. In every interaction, it's usually the person who dictates the rhythm that has the power. People who are reactive will usually rush through the conversations. They try to match that anxious energy in the room. What a smart woman would do is slow down the rhythm. She uses pause to communicate that her words are worth waiting for. She speaks calm, controlled, and all of this helps her to command the environment. So let's look at another person. Queen Elizabeth I. One of Queen Elizabeth's strategy was knowing how to control time. When she was approached with matters that seemed to be intensely pressuring, she would deliberately delay her response. She never allowed her counselors to rush her speech or to dictate how she should go about it. She would delay, and it caused her ministers to second guess their aggressive stance and, in some cases, exhaust their political maneuvers. Now, she governed England for 44 years, largely because she was in control of her pace. So how can you apply this? There are four things you can do. One, when someone asks you a question that seems like they're trying to pressure you to get an answer, pause. That pause takes away the urgency, and also it shows them that you are in charge, not them. So pause and think. Do not let them pressure you into answering. If you don't have an answer at that time, don't let someone make you create one because of their urgency. Two, when speaking, ground your voice so you do not sound rushed and inauthentic. Three, learn stillness. You don't have to always nod to whatever people are saying. Let your body relax completely. That way you're in control of your body's movement. So you're not nervously agreeing to something that, if you genuinely think about, it's not your perspective. 4. Before entering a room, it's okay to pause for some seconds, adjust, take a deep breath, then proceed to enter. Never hurry through a doorway. Never enter a room unprepared. It's okay for you to take that pause, do whatever adjustments you need to do before entering. It's not something that happens overnight. It takes practice, and with the proper work and time, you will get there, because mastering the room's energy will help you stay in control of yourself, would also put you at a position of advantage, and in social gatherings you would always have the leverage. Also, your presence would not be easily forgotten, and that's something that many people want, and of course it has its advantages too. So make sure you go see the other videos that I had mentioned within this one, and I would see you there. Do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like, do not forget to share this video with people that would find it very helpful, and I would see you in the next video.